Nation, Adon Rigg here with another episode of Cleaning Up in Sales. Welcome to a 2019 where we are going to take this show to another level. We're going to continually show you leading edge technology and show you how to do things better, faster than perhaps you're doing today. Which leads me into our guest today is Mark Lane. Mark is CEO of Compass Wave. Now, what is Compass Wave? Compass Wave is a program that helps residential commercial cleaning companies bid and sell easier and faster. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adon. It's our software is actually for residential cleaning companies.
Residential?
Correct.
Yeah, I said residential commercial, didn't I?
Yeah.
So Mark, I met you at the ISSA show. We started a conversation, and I know there's a lot of people very interested in your software at the show. In fact, we didn't get to talk much because someone was taking away for you to show them the software. Right. Before we get into the software and how it makes the job and life easier for cleaning companies, how did you get started into the industry? Because we all don't usually grow up wanting to get in the cleaning industry.
Yeah. So thank you, Adon, for inviting me to the show. It was definitely nice meeting you at the ISSA in Dallas. Hope to see you in Vegas this year as well.
You will.
What really got me into it is I'm a developer, so I've been developing software for a number of years. I started my business in 2009, and really what I like to do with my business is develop websites to save time and money. When I came across the industry, the cleaning industry in 2010, I noticed they didn't really have a lot of software products out there as far as online estimating and being able to bid and sell through their websites. So that's kind of where the idea came into play. And just from my background, I kind of jumped right into it.
That's awesome. So you basically, if I hear you right, you're into computers, you're into software. You noticed an industry that is that was lacking, that needed some help, and so therefore that came about the creation of Compass Wave.
Exactly.
Well, before we dive into the software and actually show it, maybe just go over. It seems obvious to you and I, but not to everybody perhaps that's watching the show. Why would anybody want to use this software? What's the benefit of using a software as opposed to doing what most do right now? They take a look at the square footage, maybe how many bathrooms, how many bedrooms, whatever, and they place a bid. So if I'm somebody and I have a cleaning company, why do I want to look at moving towards something like a Compass Wave?
Right. So a couple of different things. Definitely it helps with the ability for a residential cleaning company to be able to figure out what those estimates cost. It saves them time and money because now they don't have to do in-person estimates. They're no longer having to drive to the homes to walk through it. Our software still gives those capabilities, but now it allows homeowners when the business isn't open to be able to go to your website, enter in some information. It's a lead capture tool, so it grabs all of their details before they actually see the estimate. And then it gives the cleaning company that opportunity to call that customer and close the deal. As opposed to having to spend time on the phone or the driving time, it really helps a residential cleaning company grow their business by having these estimates available 24/7.
Absolutely. It's something that, as I get older and more involved in business and growing my business and stuff as well, really starting to really recognize what you've always heard by, the sophisticated business people, that the time is money. And it's the most precious resource. And I kind of used to think, I wasn't sure what they were saying, why they were saying it, what have you. And I now recognize why. We all have 24 hours in a day, and we want to do things. We want to see our kids. We want to do this. We want to do that. But at the end of the day, we have to put food on the table, and so we have to work hard and do what we do each day. And with technology now, it's really why I'm wanting to get you on the show, wanting to make people aware of this stuff. Is you can now make a choice If you have 8 hours in a day, you can spend 2-3 hours driving to someone's house, giving a bid, what have you, and you can do that. But there's a hidden cost, right? It's your cost, your gas cost, your labor cost of everything to do that. Or you can simply implement software that does that for you faster, quicker, so you get back that time. And with that time, you can either obviously go after more business, or you can go home and see the kids and spend more time with the kids or what have you. So I really love tools like that, and I want to make people aware of what's out there, because it really helps do your job better, faster. But I'll also add more professional. You know, you look more professional, you come across more professional, and you're also collecting a lot of data, correct? You're collecting the data of your customers.
Yep. Yeah. So a lot of the software pieces are automated. So there are some forms out there that you have to go in, and a homeowner doesn't always necessarily know what their square footage is. What our tool does is it takes that guessing game out of the hands of the homeowner. We automatically pull in information. For at least the United States, we're able to integrate with Zillow and pull in square footage and that type of information. As far as number of bedrooms, number of baths, all that stuff's automated. The questions are also customizable within the software, which I'll show as well. So it definitely allows a lot of flexibility for different residential cleaning companies to be able to price their products or their services differently.
That's very awesome. I mean, one of the toughest things out there is doing a clean and finding someone that cleans and cleans well, right? But one of the challenges is that there's a lot of people doing it, and it's a low barrier to market. So when you can invest in something like this that allows you to reduce the amount of time to get a customer or to bid that customer, and actually spend that time, actually executing the job or managing your team better, it makes you more efficient. So let's dive into it. I'll hand the screen over to you and walk us through a little bit about this software and how it can benefit the residential cleaner. Definitely.
So when you first log into compasswave.com, the first thing that we have here, can you see my screen all right?
Sure can, yep.
Okay. So this is the dashboard. So basically what we have here is the estimate news feed. Basically what this is every time an estimate comes through your website, you not only get an email notification, but you can go into here and view all of the details of that estimate, which I'll show you then. When a residential cleaning company signs up, the first thing they'll want to do is go to Settings and Tools. What this section allows you to do is basically customize everything about the tool itself. So every cleaning company that signs up with our software, there's some default values and appearance and everything that's set up by default, but they can go in here and customize everything about the tool. The first thing that they would customize is their appearance. So you can see this tool here has kind of a different colored background, has a different color button, that kind of thing. So they can go through the different tabs here and change these colors. They can change the background color. If they'd like to upload a logo, that type of thing, that'll appear at the top here if we uploaded a logo. And then the accessibility section, so each residential cleaning company that signs up, they'll get their own unique URL. This is a subdomain that's automatically created. So a residential cleaning company doesn't necessarily have to have a website right away when they sign up with Compass Wave.
Okay.
If they wanted to sign up and utilize our tool either internally or just link it from their Facebook page or different social profiles, they can do that as well. And then we give them what's called an iframe code. And this basically just gets placed on the website. We do offer, if they don't have a web developer on hand or they don't know what they're doing with that, we do place this on their website for free. They just have to contact us and provide those types of credentials. What it would basically look like after they customize the appearance is this. So this is why I kind of chose this color because of the color scheme of the website itself.
Nice.
We can help obtain those colors too. So if a residential cleaning company doesn't know exactly what colors are on their website or how to customize that, we do help with every aspect of that throughout the tool. The second section, this is the main section that a residential cleaning company would want to go through. These are the customer questions. So when a homeowner visits your website and they go through the different steps throughout the software, First thing that they'll want to do is they'll have to answer these questions. So these are the questions that are going to appear on the front end of your website when they go through the tool. So the first one here we have, this is pets. So there's different ways to ask about pets. We have ask your customer if they have pets, ask the number and types of pets, and then we have the number and types of pets for different types of pets, or you can choose not to ask that question as well. So a lot of these questions can be turned on or off depending on your business.
Very cool.
Pricing. We have occupants here, so this is how many occupants are in your home, and you can see there's different ways to price that as well. Kitchen use. So this is asking the customer if they use their kitchen on a daily basis. That might be a question that you have. Additional services. We actually we take a lot of feedback from our customers as well. I think we added about 3 or 4 of these just last year. So as these different additional services come about, we do look at the different pricing and how many cleaning companies are using those types of questions and recommendations, and we do add those to this list. So the questions do grow kind of as our software develops. Basically, a cleaning company would just go in here and they would check on or off which questions that they would want to turn on or off.
Okay.
Frequency of service, so this is asking them, they don't have to do anything here, but these are the different types of frequency. We have one-time, weekly, bi-weekly, move-out, and monthly. Entertaining visitors is another question, so how often do they entertain a month? If you're in a big city or something like that, that might be a question that you want to ask to see if they have too many parties or those types of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Discount, so you can ask about a discount code. So if you're doing some kind of promotion, depending on whether or not it's a certain type of time of year, that kind of thing, or if you're doing any other kind of promotion, you can put a discount code on here, and then I'll show you in the cost drivers how that can affect the price.
Okay.
Smoking, asking if the customer smokes. We have a furniture question, how much furniture is in the home. Little, average, a lot. Clutter, we have a clutter question, so you can turn that on or off. And then access. This is just asking if they have access to all areas of the home. So if you shut off certain areas of the home, is that going to be an issue? Normally, a lot of cleaning companies will turn this off because it doesn't really apply. But we do have that option in there as well.
Okay. So let's stop there for a sec.
Yep.
So this is something that can be on their website.
Exactly.
Or you could also make this page their website too if you want it, correct?
Yep, correct.
And so what it does is it's really qualifying and helping you build a bid before you've even talked to somebody. I mean, they can always pick up the phone and phone you, absolutely, and some people will do that, and they won't want to do this. Mm-hmm. But the majority of people, especially people nowadays, getting more and more comfortable with their smartphones and their websites and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So they're just going on here, and they're basically doing the bidding for you as they're filling out the questions.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So let me, before I jump into back into the cost drivers, which is going to drive the cost, let me just kind of show you what it looks like on the website here. So this is a residential cleaning company. This is what the tool would look like. So the first thing, so as you can see, the homeowner that's looking for cleaning from this cleaning company, they want to see how much does it cost for this cleaning company to clean my home. Instead of having the pricing on here, a lot of companies will put pricing on their website. Those people might bounce away. So that's the thing that our tool really helps avoid, is those people that are visiting your website, that either the prices are too high, they're too low. Depending on those factors, they might not even contact you. They might not pick up the phone and call you. The other thing that our tool does too is you don't get a price until you actually go through those tools. So other websites that you'll see out there, you can fill out information and then you don't even have to hit submit, and it doesn't capture that information. So they might see the price and not actually click to book the cleaning because they saw that the price came out too high. The first thing the homeowner would do here is they would type in their address and zip code, hit continue. This will show a little Google map here.
Yeah, cool.
Bring it up, brings up the square footage. So you have the square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms. All of this information is able to be changed. So if they add any kind of addition or something like that, click continue. This asks you, now these are all the questions that are available on the back end. So these
that we were just going through earlier, right?
Exactly. Yep. So these will all be different depending on the cleaning company. And these are the additional services. So if you want to check some of these off, what frequency you want. So if you want weekly or bi-weekly, click continue. This will ask for their name. So what's your what's your email address, Let me just put you in here.
Yeah, you can do Adon Rigg, ADON RIGG at insightfulselling.com.
Site. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. Okay. So while you're doing that, 604-833-3075. Yeah, that 5 there instead of a 4. But no big. So what I want to point out right now is, I'm assuming here, but let's just say now I change my mind. I go, I don't want to go through this any longer. Mm-hmm. You now have a lead. You at least now have a lead, right? I've placed my name and phone number. Right. You can now email them a newsletter, whatever. You've got authorized information.
Exactly. So if they actually stopped right after entering their address, say they got to that second screen there, and the only information that they entered was their address, we still allow you to export that information. So if you're doing any kind of mailing, if you're doing a mailer in your area, a lot of people will use, I don't know if you've heard of sendjim.com, where you can upload addresses and it'll actually do a radius bomb around those areas.
I have heard of that, yeah.
Yeah, and you can actually send those physical postcards out to those areas. So what you could do is you could actually export our database and then upload it into a software like SendJim or your local printer and have them do a mailing to those addresses to see if they can finish the estimate and close that deal.
Something else I just want to point out, which is over and above what we're talking about here, but even things like someone has entered their email address, you can then take that, and if you want to do Facebook advertising based on those emails, which will then put your company in front of those people, those specific people, which is a warm lead. So it's no different than some of us will maybe look at on Amazon for something, and the next time we notice that something on Facebook or what have you has popped up and is showing us what we're looking at. So it just allows the business owner to be more sophisticated, if you will. And not all customers are going to buy today, but we're capturing information. We're marketing to that person who we know is a genuine, legitimate lead because they checked you out and they obviously want their house clean at some point by somebody.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So basically, at the end there, it'll show the homeowner their cost, and the residential cleaning company will get an instant email notification, which will have all of this information from that estimate appeared on there as well. So
we have a cost there of $262 to $298. Now, what did you do, or whatever it is, what did you do to make it bid that amount? There must have been a cost that you decided per square foot or something.
Yep. Yeah, so exactly. So on the back end, the next part that that the cleaning company would do is they would go into the time and cost drivers section. And we actually priced this at 10 cents a square foot. So you can price per square foot. You can also do it based on the amount of time that it takes you to clean each individual room. We added the price per square foot in because some people will bid hourly, and then some people will bid per square foot. And then each individual section here, the questions that are answered, you can have different percentage markups based on those questions. So we did, so for the pets question, we had a 10% increase. Occupants here, we have a 2% increase. And then you can go through each of these individual questions. Kitchen use has a 2%. Additional cleaning services. So we actually have two ways to price this. You can actually do it based on time. So if it takes you 8 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes to clean an oven, you can do it that way. Or if you wanted to do it based on rates, you could actually do a $20 rate for an oven cleaning or a $45. So you can change all of these values, your pricing, depending on whether or not you do it based on time or if you do it based on amounts of money as well.
Okay, very cool.
The frequency markup, so this is another important section that a cleaning company would want to go in here. They might want to adjust these So one time you might have we have a 65% increase here. They might do, if it's a weekly, they might not charge an increase for that. They're just going to use the flat amount. And then we have this other important section called estimate range. So that range that you saw when it went from the forget the numbers here, but 262 to 299. Basically what that does is that takes the low range, which was what it calculates at the end, at 0, and then it takes the high range, and it basically takes 15% and increases that.
Okay.
So you can change these numbers depending on how your business runs and how you do your estimating. If you want to give yourself a little bit more of a gap, because a lot of the people that go through your site maybe don't tell the truth on certain questions, you want to be able to have that flexibility.
Yeah, makes sense.
The other section in here, so again, you can go through all these questions and change those prices, is the cost drivers. This is the payroll costs. So this is where you would put in your hourly rate. So if you charge $40 an hour per employee or $30 an hour, you could put that in here. You can break it down by taxes and workman's comp, and that'll add all these percentages within this section.
Okay.
Just use a flat number as well. And then the overhead costs. So this is an extra fee. So after you go through all of your calculations and figure out what a certain square foot home would cost after all these questions are answered, you might want to have a profit that your business is making. So our tool allows you to do that. You can either add a flat fee here as the cost per cleaning. So it'll add a $20 fee. And then so if you're doing, maybe you charge for certain supplies or you want your employees to be reimbursed for that. So maybe you have an overhead cost based on the average number of materials that you use for those cleanings.
Okay.
We also have a profit margin markup that you can include in here as well. So if you want to make a certain profit off of each cleaning above and beyond what your base costs are, this software allows you to do that.
Okay, very nice.
And then again, we have the discount section. So this is where you would put in your code. So you can type in whatever that code is, and then you can type in whether or not it's a flat fee or a percentage, and then what that applies to. If it applies just the first time, recurring, or all costs, and then what that cost is.
Okay.
And that'll apply it within the software as well.
Very nice. Yeah, that's one of the things that I always find interesting. You know, when I go on websites like this and it says you have a discount code, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Each individual business owner have to decide for themselves, because I don't know the answer. Because when I see that, I know that there's a discount code somewhere, and I can get it cheaper.
Yeah.
But it also allows me to know that I can ask that question.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So the other thing that I have up here on the screen, so this is the sales database. This is where all of the estimates that come through. So one of the questions you asked is another reason to use this tool versus maybe just using Excel or something like that. Our tool organizes all of the estimates between prospects and customers. So all of the estimates that come through the website are now in one platform that you can go to and search and view all of the information and details based on that estimate. So if I pulled up one of the estimates real quick, another important aspect that we have is called this calculation PDF. We have some video tutorials on our website. If anyone visits our website, it's under the How It Works section of the resources of our site.
Okay.
But basically what this is, and I'll open this up. Let me know if this pulls up here. Can you see it still?
Nothing changed. I still see the sales database.
Okay. Let's see here.
There we go.
Okay, so this is the calculation PDF. Basically what this is, this breaks down every single estimate has this. Now the homeowner is never going to see this information. Anything in the sales database they don't see. The only thing that the customer sees is what's on the website, which is the pricing that shows up. So this actually breaks down the full estimate based on the cleaning times, what those minutes are, what the markups for the different questions that they asked, as well as all of the different markup costs. And it breaks it down here into a formula that a residential cleaning company can kind of go top to bottom and say, okay, well, maybe I should increase these prices, or these numbers are a little bit off, or it actually doesn't take us this long. So this actually has helped a lot of residential cleaning companies really go back and look at their pricing overall and realize that they maybe should be charging a little bit more based on the amount of time that it actually does take to clean those homes.
Yeah.
And this is something a lot of other companies out there don't offer, but we really break it down here as far as the breakdown of how everything's calculated.
Okay, very cool. So, to paint a picture for the viewer, so the customer's not going to see that. Why do they want to have that?
So the residential cleaning company would want to have that to be able to basically get their pricing really nailed down, so that they know exactly where that pricing's coming from. If a customer comes back to you and says, "How did you calculate your price?" you can look at that document and you can really break it down for them if you wanted to.
Yeah.
As opposed to just saying, well, this is our price, or we charge $150 a clean. Now you can really say, well, we have a 10% markup for pets, and it takes an extra 15, 20 minutes to clean that home, or it takes us an extra this amount of time based on how many cleaners we send.
Yeah, so it's basically, to paint a picture, is no different than going to the mechanic. They charge you $300 for brakes. You get a breakdown, right? The brakes, the labor, the different parts, what have you, and then you look and go, okay, I spent so much on labor, so much on parts.
Exactly. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cool. And then some of the other things we have in the sales database under this actions section. So this is the ability where they can actually export the full database. So if I export that, okay. So basically, after you download the database through that export, this will show you all of the people that have gone through the estimate and all of their information. So these are all the details. So this is something that you could use if you have any kind of email marketing that you use outside of Compass Wave, or if you're doing any kind of radius bombs, doing any kind of mailings. This is where you could export this information and upload that into a third-party system to be able to do that type of marketing. We provide you all the details on the address information. We have all of the dates from these different steps. So there's 4 steps in Compass Wave. So the first thing we grab is their address information. The second step here, this is where they confirmed that information. You have the questions, and then you have the email and name information in step 4. So even if they don't get to the email and name, you still have all of those other details for that person to be able to do that kind of marketing too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those are really the main basics of our tool. We do have a lot of other capabilities as far as being able to go in here and edit information, add notes to an estimate through this edit section. We do have a calendar feature as well, which will show you kind of when or if you have any updated cleanings. And this will link it directly back to the estimate, so you can double click on that. And it's kind of a drag and drop interface. This does not currently sync with Google or anything like that. It is something that we would be looking into in the future, though.
Okay, very cool. So, do you have, how does someone get started, or how does someone get more information? Someone watching this this episode, they see the value in it. They want to kind of test it out, what have you. What's a good way for someone to start?
So if they just visit compasswave.com, the first thing that they'll want to do is just go and sign up for the free trial. We do have a demo video that they can fill out the form on the homepage. Once they fill out this form here, they'll get redirected, and it walks through a lot of the front end part of the software, shows them exactly how the software works. And then we do have other resources as well. So under the resources and how it works section, we do have some video tutorials that will show the residential cleaning company exactly how the different pieces of our software work and how they would set those different sections up once they sign up. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a huge value added tool. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking that even if a customer doesn't fill out the information, they still pick up the phone and say, yeah, hey, how much do you charge?
Mm-hmm.
It's a heck of a lot better and more accurate, in my opinion, to saying, oh, well, we're $25 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to ask the questions to be more professional, to find out more information, to build a better relationship. I'll give you an example. It was less than a year ago, I phoned a cleaning company that I trusted in. It was a well-named company. And I just said, hey, I'm moving out. Can you clean? And they said, yes. And I had a number in my head. And when it was finished, it was 3 times what I expected. And they said, oh, we're $45 an hour, but there's 2 people, what have you, so $90 an hour. But we get done twice as fast. I was like, okay. So I had in my head 2 or 3 hours, and my place wasn't overly clean. So it made me, number one, feel, I didn't feel good about the situation. I won't use them again. Now, I could be blamed for that. I could have asked more details, but having someone like this is going to avoid that situation. You're going to sit back and give a very accurate quote. I mean, if you go there and they blatantly lied and said, yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. But for the most part, you're giving a very accurate quote based on your experience on how long it's going to take. So the customer knows they're going to pay, in this example, what was it, $250 to $300, depending on circumstances. But they know that it's not going to be anything less than $250, and it's not going to be anything more than $290, whatever it was, unless, of course, you have a conversation over and above that. So it just helps build and maintain a relationship with a prospect or with a customer, because no one's having any surprises.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to it totally because of the situation that I went through. Okay, well, this is absolutely fantastic. So to recap, this is a program that is designed for the residential cleaning company for bidding and helping them sell. Now, they can also take this and use it as their main website if they wanted. Which means someone would just go there to their link and have their link to the Compass Wave, but with their brand on it and stuff. But it's really designed to actually help aid your website, and you can put that iframe in there, and someone can not only go to your website, but be able just to click get a quote, and it'll take them to this program.
Exactly. Yep.
Perfect. Okay, well, I think this is absolutely fantastic. I think that any cleaning company, there's a lot of competition, and there is no barrier to entry in getting into cleaning business, whether or not you're B2B or business to customer, whether or not you're commercial or residential. Anything you can do to set yourself apart, build a relationship, and get that data on customers that are customers and customers that are prospects. Because in today's day and age, as we all know, that people have a lot of choices, and they may go to your website and check you out, but they may get busy with something else, forget about you. So you get that data, and you can direct market to them. As Mark said, you can do an email newsletter, you can do a postcard through the mail, what have you. You can do Facebook advertising. Even if they don't become a customer, you have a very warm lead of someone that absolutely wants to do business with somebody in your industry, as opposed to just blanketing an ad and hoping that you find someone that has interest. So it allows you to pinpoint potential customers, regardless if they buy from you or not. And that really sums up the importance of bidding correctly, but also getting the data. And you just can build a relationship with that customer over a period of time.
Exactly.
Perfect. So I wasn't sure. So Mark, thank you very much. We've been talking with Mark Lane, CEO of Compass Wave. It is a residential software program for bidding and selling and doing things more effectively. You've been watching Cleaning Up in Sales. Check out Mark, check out the free trial, and I will see you in the next episode.